Carolina, a number of sports officials, this initiative is intended to promote an
A
atmosphere
very
of
warm welcome and a good afternoon to you. So glad you could join us here on the campus of the University of North Carolina at Pembroke. We're at Lumbee River EMC Stadium for a little matinee soccer action alongside Chris Clayton, today's color commentator, cameraman, producer, director, basically everything that he wants to do today. I'm Sam Jelinek here to bring you the action. We're down to the final two games of the Peach Belt Conference schedule for UNCP. This is the penultimate game for the Braves, both of them here at home this week at 2 o'clock. Today here against the University of North Georgia, and then they'll finish up on Friday against Young Harris. The Braves need 2 wins in both of those games if they want to try and host the first round of the Peach Belt Conference tournament. But before they get 2 wins, they got to get 1, and today that's against North Georgia. And this is a pretty solid North Georgia squad, Chris, that, is going to try and put a lot of shots on net, is going to try and score a lot of goals.
Absolutely. This is going to be a fun match to watch. As you mentioned, I've got a lot going on here, but I brought my A game because both teams brought their A game. These are two of the best teams in the Peach Belt Conference. Of course, Columbus State has already captured the Peach Belt Championship, but of course the Braves are the defending Peach Belt champions. And UNCP looking to play well here at home. And this is going to be two teams that are very aggressive, very entertaining soccer on hand here at Lumbee River EMC Stadium.
North Georgia comes in as the number 25 team in the nation at 10-2-1. The Braves themselves at 7-4-1, 4-3-1 in the Peach Belt. And we're underway here from Pembroke. Immediately the Braves start with the ball and are dispossessed, but able to fall it right back to them. Going along the far side, there goes Bree Mason, the talented freshman for UNCP, just outside of the box, picks it up. Looking for somebody to get open, passes it back, shot on net, chipped into the air off the hands of the keeper. Nice save there by Hannah Gowdy. Braves stay on it though, it's off a defender and back for a corner. So immediately the Braves coming out of the blocks firing. As this has been one heck of a start for them. We'll see what they can get from this first corner. Christine Rolfs on the corner kick as always. Line drive into the box. Nobody can get their head to it. Falls right behind Alexis Pittman, and North Georgia able to clear their lines. Katie Ryan fighting for the ball. The Peach Belt Conference Defender of the Week for her efforts last week, as her and her sister Gina Ryan went hand in hand as they won the Defender and Goalkeeper of the Week.
It's a pretty good success for one family.
Oh, not too shabby at all. Must be something in the genes.
Yeah.
North Georgia looking to push forward for their first attack, but Katie Ryan able to clear and will go out of play for a touch.
And it was a big week for UNCP having success, getting some national and regional attention. Silas Kipkowicz, Peach Belt Runner of the Week as well. So Braves are making splashes here in the fall season.
Let's go, Katie.
Of course, cross-country team star Silas Kipkowicz.
Starting lineup for the Braves, you already know Katie Ryan's in there. She throws the ball in, immediately dispossessed though is Maya Grimes. Christine Rolfs fights for it, but I think, it actually did not get off her boot. Instead, that was off of Michaela Sundstrom for North Georgia. Braves look like this. Gina Ryan's in net, Alexis Pittman up top, Maya Grimes as well. Carly Rochelle in the midfield. Bree Mason will play it in the forward as well. So pass there for Christine Rolfs, done away with by North Georgia. Brianna DeCouteau mans the back lines along with Christine Rolfs. Katie Ryan joins them as well. Jillian Robson gets the start. Stacy Scott's actually going to be playing center back here today as Haley Stewart out with an injury. Stacy played center back in her freshman season and is now tasked with doing the same here. And this is going to be real interesting considering she's been on a real nice goal-scoring run, 8 on the season that leads the Braves. It's going to be a lot to try and replace what she brings up top, but a second corner of the game now for UNCP.
Well, that's what's interesting is Scott has been so dominant offensively for the Braves.
So the corner into the box, punched away by the goalkeeper, but a foul called, and North Georgia will have a free kick. For North Georgia, This is how they're going to line it up. Hannah Gowdy's in net, about to kick it away off the free kick. Peyton Biso, Danny Chartouni, Michaela Sundstrom, Taylor Malashik, Jasmine Adlam, Asa Thorson, Olivia Dumphy, Meredith Tucker, Charlotte Rint, Mackenzie Brennan, and Renee Van Horn, one of the top goal scorers in the Peach Belt Conference. North Georgia as a team, one of the best goal scoring outfits that there is in this conference. Played her on the near side there to Brennan, trying to get it to the sideline to Peyton Biso, who battles for it against Katie Ryan, able to win it back. Good move by Maya Grimes to stay on the ball. She pushes forward, looking for a player rushing ahead. That was Bree Mason, but dispossessed in North Georgia back the other way. UNCP has dominated the possession here early on, just about 5 minutes into this ball game. North Georgia, a team that loves to take shots. They've outshot their opponents 3-1 in the season, over 300 shots for North Georgia as a team. The Braves, what I would dare to call an aggressive team as well. They've taken 188, so North Georgia outpacing them by plenty. North Georgia on the attack for the first time. A lot of room to work for Biso. Lays it out wide for Chartouni. Guarded by Katie Ryan. Ball into the box, but straight into the arms of Gina Ryan. So what's at stake here today for both sides? Unfortunately for the Braves as well as North Georgia, the conference has already been settled. The regular season conference title has been won by Columbus State. So a little ball flicked in there by Maya Grimes, easily handled by Gowdy. Columbus State has already won the Peach Belt Conference regular season title by going 9-0, 12-0-1 overall. North Georgia in second, that's as best as they can finish at 6-1-1. But for UNCP, currently in 5th place, on the outside looking in at potentially hosting a playoff game or a conference tournament match, as Katie Ryan boxes out Chartouni to win the ball, and the Braves will clear it out of play. Braves currently at 4-3-1, sit behind Lander, Flagler, and North Georgia. For the Braves, though, obviously playing North Georgia right here, right now. An opportunity to gain ground immediately on a team in front of them. It's a nice interception there for Carly Rochelle. Lays it off for Rolfs, kicks off a boot, and back out of play for a throw-in for North Georgia. Kenzie Brennan throws it in. Back to her now. She'll clear it all the way back to her goalkeeper, Gowdy. North Georgia looking to settle in before they move ahead on the attack. They'll switch the field all the way on the far side. Flicked ahead, but too much on it. Jillian Robson will see it run out of play. Far side throw in for the Braves, booted away by North Georgia. Falling on the ball is Van Horn, but she's dispossessed. Played ahead for Grimes. Turns her back to the field, flicks it ahead, trying to connect with Bree Mason, but too much on it, and it'll run out for a goal kick. It'll be interesting to see what Maya Grimes can do, essentially playing the role that Stacy Scott had been playing, that kind of number 10 up top, being able to hold the ball down on a couple of long balls played in to allow her teammates to come up and meet her, and then lay the ball off potentially to start a run. Grimes has done well so far this season for the freshman. 2 goals, 4 assists out of Kernersville, North Carolina. And here come the Braves again. Pittman with it, far side, heading towards the flag. Dispossessed, ball cleared straight off of her and back for another goal kick.
Sam, it just shows you the importance of that center back spot and of Haley Stewart. Not having Stewart is huge for UNCP. She's so experienced, so talented, and putting Stacy Scott there is a big statement. And one of their best athletes, most tallest and longest players, putting her away from that attacking position. So North Georgia, such a prolific offense. UNCP knowing the importance of that, putting Scott back there.
Thrown ahead by Brennan over top everybody's head. It'll go all the way back to Dekuto, who tries to boot it out of the play, but it'll stay in, picked up by Chartouni. Rochelle Honor still with it. Chartouni tries to thread the needle there, but the pass deflected. Rochelle falls on it, switches the field of play all the way to to Alexis Pittman on the far side. Some room to run, plays it ahead forward for Bree Mason, but she's not going to be able to get there. And back for another goal kick. And about 10 minutes into this game, the Braves have controlled the flow, but only one shot on net for both sides. And each time it really wasn't threatening the goalkeeper here yet. Booted away, high off the head. Braves battle for it. Falls to Bree Mason, kicks it high into the air. Rolfs tries to get to it, she can't. Instead, it'll be Christina Stevenson to play it forward. North Georgia on the interception, able to take back control. Brennan kicks it ahead, intercepted by Katie Ryan, but way too much mustard on it for Maya Grimes. And another goal kick. Beautiful afternoon day here in mid to late October. Temperatures hovering in the 60s, nearly reaching 70, but the wind's strong right now, blowing right to left across the field. We'll see how that's going to affect play. It's blowing our papers around up here in our quasi-press box. It's a nice interception there for Carly Rochelle. Sticks with it. Pass able to trickle ahead to Maya Grimes. Tries to get it all the way across the field, but North Georgia falls on it, and they'll push ahead. Here comes Hannah Biso. Biso still with it, taking on Katie Ryan, and Ryan able to win the battle, ends up with the ball with the left foot, throws it ahead for Carly Rochelle, who tries to do the same, but the pass deflected there by Brennan. Falls back to her, crosses the ball into the middle of the field, shot well outside. So that was Taylor Malashik trying to take a strike from way outside the box. Had a good idea, caught it with the outside of her foot, but with the wind, pushed that ball even further away from the goal mouth. And out for a clear goal kick here. Katie Ryan will boot it deep.
Good job.
Off the head of Carly Rochelle and straight to the back lines for North Georgia. Charlotte Rindt kicks it ahead. Peyton Biso with it. Along to Thorson, dispossessed. Stevenson with it, tries to pass it out wide to Pittman. North Georgia intercepts. Poor pass there. Jillian Robson will boot it far ahead for Bree Mason. Can't win the battle though. Now Christine Rolfs. Back to Pittman. Turns on the ball, gets away from her defender. As that's Malashik on her back. Pittman beats her. Now space to work. Throws it into the box. Bree Mason one time, deflected, kicks it again. Nice save by the goalkeeper, Gowdy. As Mason did well to win that ball, tried to hit it first time, kind of whiffed on it, deflected off her defender. Fell right back to her though. Put it on net, and Gowdy able to flick it over top the bar for an easy save, and another corner kick for the Braves. Off the head of Stevenson and well high. Had the right idea, but the serve is just a little bit too hot, too low. Couldn't get her head on top of the ball and deflected down. And it's another goal kick here for North Georgia. The Nighthawks out of North Georgia, ranked 25th in the nation in the first, or one of the first regional polls that came out, and the current one, as Maya Grimes, a nice little spin move to stay on the ball and win it. Fighting her way into the box, dragged down, no whistle. North Georgia will stay on the ball and try and counter. But North Georgia second in the region behind only Columbus State, the fourth ranked team in the nation. So North Georgia in some good company, one of the top teams here in the Southeast, as Biso loses control as the ball run out of play and the Braves back in possession. Headed along by Carly Rochelle. Grimes can't get to it though. It'll be cleared, deflected off of Dekuto onto Chartouni, crosses it into the middle of the box, deflected away by Robson onto Katie Ryan, who clears it out for now, and Rolfs will clear it for good on a long kick lofted high into the air, heading towards the near corner flag. It'll roll out before then for a throw. Back along comes North Georgia. Brennan with it. On along to her other center back, Charlotte Rint. Gives it off to Dumphy, far side of the field now. North Georgia pressing ahead. Links up with Renee Van Horn. Back to Adlum, forward here for Asa Thorson. And out of play by the Braves. North Georgia trying to string something together here, a very contained, controlled attack. Unlike what we've seen from the Braves so far, which has been very strong on the counter. There's a couple defenders over there for the Braves. Looked like it was Dekuto and Stevenson able to clear it away, and the Nighthawks will have another throw. Adlum throws it in. Chance here for North Georgia, but good defense. Looked like that was Alexis Pittman able to put pressure on her attacker. Force an errant ball into the box to be cleared, and now Pittman wins the ball off of the poor throw-in, tries to link up with Rolfs, but they're not on the same page. North Georgia wins the ball back. Sundstrom plays it out to the near side here for Mackenzie Brennan. Low ball into the box, chance here for North Georgia, laid off, no shot available though, and Rolfs will boot it out over the touchline. Renee Van Horn was in the area, one of the most dangerous goal scorers for North Georgia, as well as the entire Peach Belt Conference. 12 goals on the season, that's third in the Peach Belt. North Georgia with just 2 losses on the season. Well, both those losses came when Van Horn failed to score. So if the Braves want to win this game, they're going to have to keep Van Horn off the score sheet. As Bree Mason gets tangled up, gets up to her feet though, gets to the ball, crosses it into the box. Handled by Gowdy though. Great job by Mason just to win that ball, got tripped up. Stayed with it though, advantage had been called. Used it to her advantage to play it on into the box. A good win there for Dekuto, gets the ball ahead to Rochelle. Tries to get to the far side for Mason, ball bouncing along. Mason with a slide tackle, can't get any foot to the ball. And North Georgia back ahead again. Lars Anderson wants a whistle there, and he gets it. Ball just over the touchline. Good eyes there by the head skipper for UNCP. Now into his 18th year as a member of the University of North Carolina at Pembroke soccer staff, be it men's or women's. Pittman tries to win the ball. Ball falls just over the touchline, and it was off of North Georgia. So Jillian Robson will throw it in. A nice ball there for Maya Grimes into the box. Nobody can get to it though. Carly Rochelle was the closest. Falls back to Robson. Now Stevenson. Ryan comes forward, waiting to link up with somebody. Lofts it into the air, looking for Alexis Pittman. Off the head into the box. North Georgia wins it, and will try and counter. Van Horn with it, holding up play, now racing forward. Through ball ahead, nicely done, threads the needle. But Dekuto able to get there and deflect it away to stop the immediate counter. North Georgia still applying pressure. Ball in for Thorson, 2 defenders on her. Now back out, left-footed cross in, ball falls into the box, nobody's there though. Katie Ryan signals to her sister Gina Ryan to come out from her goal mouth to come pick it up. She does so, and the Braves will take a moment here, catch their breath, and regroup back the other way. Stevenson can't win the header. The ball falls to Pittman, trying to play it along for Bree Mason, can't do so. North Georgia back in possession with Adlum. Tries to link up with Van Horn racing forward. Will be cleared all the way out. Goalkeeper out from her goal mouth. as Gowdy kicks it along. Ball falls back to Stevenson. Gowdy racing back to her goal mouth, and Stevenson thinking maybe she could catch her off. Puts one into the box, allowing Maya Grimes to race forward for it. North Georgia able to clear, though. Ball back to Katie Ryan. She links up with Maya Grimes. Loses on the heavy touch, though. Ball won back by Peyton Biso. And North Georgia back the other way with Sundstrom. Far side. Here's Jasmine Adlam out of Orlando, Florida, 5'2" freshman. The ball deflects off of Bree Mason and into the UNCP dugout for a throw. Knocked along, Jill Robson gets her foot to it and clears. Heavy touch, Maya Grimes barely just can't get to it. And North Georgia will try and put something together here. Ball in, Katie Ryan's there. Chasing after it is Chartouni as well. And Ryan will just guard the ball to allow the goalkeeper, Gina Ryan, to pick it up and settle things down. Just about 20 minutes into this ball game. Expected a lot of high-scoring, high-volume shots. Everybody on the attack so far. That has not really been the case. Both teams have pushed forward, but not too many clear opportunities to be had. The defense has been stout for both sides, as here's Jill Robson winning the ball and sending it out wide for Bree Mason. Takes on her defender one-on-one, and Adlam just pokes it out of play.
Yeah, the keepers have not really been tested here yet in this match, to your point. Not a lot of clear attacks. Both teams kind of feeling each other out early on. They've been aggressive, both teams have, but to your point, the defenses have been stout.
Pittman knocks it along, taken down from behind, no whistle. North Georgia tries to clear, but Katie Ryan gets to it first. Played along for Rochelle. Kicks it out wide to Katie Ryan, possibly looking for a cross into the box. Squares up her defender. Onto the left foot now, tangled with her defender just outside of the corner flag. Great job there by Mackenzie Brennan to win that ball. So it goes out of play for a UNCP throw.
Good job, Kate.
4 shots for UNCP, 2 for North Georgia. Surprising to see them contained thus far. This has been a Braves defense that's been very good for most of the season, especially lately when they've been on a nice little run. Stevenson deflects it, falls back to Brennan. Tries to play it forward for Van Horn. Good defense by DeCouteau. Stevenson heads it down and taken down by Van Horn, so a free kick.
Way to go, Braves!
Not quite in the dangerous area you would call it yet, but just outside of that, about 40 yards or so. The Braves want to take a shot at something into the box. Have Katie Ryan boot it high into the air. Free kick coming in. Falls just outside of the box, headed high into the air again. Pittman tries to win it. Can't do it though. Ball trickling towards out of play in front of the Braves dugout. Joe Robson gets there first. Line drive ahead, deflects off of Pittman and into the waiting arms of Hannah Gowdy. And Chris, you mentioned how neither of the goalkeepers have really been tested. These are 2 of the top goalkeepers in the Peach Belt Conference. Gina Ryan, evidenced by her winning the Peach Belt Conference Goalkeeper of the Week for the week that just happened. Then Hannah Gowdy, you know, she started all 10 games so far this year, or excuse me, has started 10 games for North Georgia this season. A transfer out of the University of Georgia, one of the top soccer schools in the nation, and one of the top soccer conferences. As racing along here is Bree Mason. Ball slides underneath of her. Goalkeeper came out. Nobody was there. Very dangerous for North Georgia. Nearly a lucky goal for UNCP, but nothing to come of it. Instead, North Georgia back on the attack. Long ball ahead for Chartouni, but instead, Stacey Scott will get there first and play it out. Hannah Gowdy, the junior, 756 save percentage, allowing just over a goal per game. Then on the other end, Gina Ryan, the fellow junior, 815 save percentage, allowing 1.01 goals per match, and was the MVP of the Peach Belt Conference tournament last season. The Braves went all the way in an upset fashion over Columbus State. Now a free kick for UNCP, coming up on about 20 minutes remaining here in the first half of this match. Stevenson deflects it, able to get to it before Thorson can. Katie Ryan tries to clear, deflects off of Rosie Embley, substituted into this game. Embley out of Westaston, England. 3 goals on the season as well as 3 assists, a fine midfielder. North Georgia pushes ahead, player falls down, hand goes up for the referee. Not sure if he's signaling for a corner kick or a free kick. It looks like it's going to be of the corner variety. And Danny Chartouni will play it in. Rosie Embley, the junior, on for Peyton Biso in the first corner kick of the game for North Georgia, into the box and straight into the hands of Gina Ryan. Ball had nice loft, nice pace, but placed right on top of Ryan for an easy save. Chartouni wins the ball, spins, tries to land on it, can't though, but the clearance not done well, and Thorson has it inside of the box, left foot swings and misses, and cleared out by Robson.
Whoops. Decent opportunity there for the Nighthawks. And that's kind of the first real blunder we've seen from either team. Not to say she would have scored, of course, not a great opportunity, but a decent chance. And a very good team like North Georgia, you can see they're in a battle when they would miss an opportunity like that.
We're going to see Sundstrom come out of the game. Abby Crane will substitute on in place of her. Freshman forward out of Peachtree City, Georgia. 2 goals on the season for her. North Georgia sensing the opportunity to possibly strike first. Lofted ball into the box. Van Horn there. 2 defenders on her back, though. Jumps, can't get her head to it. And Gina Ryan will come out to pick it up. Or excuse me, it's Abby Crane coming in for Chartouni. A little bit surprising to see Chartouni come off the pitch. One of the most effective players for North Georgia thus far. So Alexis Pittman bodied off the ball, no whistle. North Georgia will stay on top.
Surprised to see no call on that one.
Alexis Pittman wins it back though. Bree Mason along the far side. Crosses it to Pittman, chance here, right-footed shot, weak. Cut off before the goal mouth. North Georgia still trying to clear it, finally does. Falls to Stevenson, who takes a hack at it. High into the air and back for a goal kick. Looked like Alexis Pittman had a real solid opportunity there, just off of the first touch, can't get a real solid boot to it. Instead, Stevenson tries to take a solid hack at it, and the way the wind's blowing, kind of swirling right now, blowing towards us left to right across the field. She'd be kicking into the wind, which held that ball up a good deal. Probably helped cause why that ball was so off target, but anyways, North Georgia back in possession. Embley with it, traverses into midfield, threads the needle on a through ball, far side. Malashik with it, defenders on her, and the ball falls out of play. Stacy Scott in on the challenge. So these past 5 or 10 minutes or so, North Georgia started to turn on the energy a little bit. Come forward, challenging UNCP, getting a couple of shots, couple of missed opportunities as well. Ball in for Thorson. Near the corner flag with Scott, whistle blows. It'll end up being a free kick, essentially a corner here for North Georgia. Left-footed corner or left-footed free kick to come into the box. It'll be an outswinger. Played in, line drive. Braves get their head to it first with Rochelle. Sundstrom tries to play it back into the box, but it's deflected out. And here comes Maya Grimes back the other way. Taking on her defenders, lays it off for Bree Mason. Space to work with. For Maya Grimes in the box, jumps, it's by her. And trickles softly to Hannah Gowdy to clean up the mess. Rolf Swifts trying to keep that ball in front of her, but it falls back for Scott. played out wide for Bree Mason. Taking her time, one hot pass falls by Maya Grimes, and North Georgia clears it out. Right in front of the scorer's table, it runs out of play. That'll be a throw-in for Jillian Robson. Looking for Bree Mason, finds her. Dispossessed though, and again out off of North Georgia. Grimes lays it off. Mason, right-footed strike. Not a whole lot of power on it though. Just tumbles softly into the arms of Hannah Gowdy for an easy save. Crane lays it off for Embley. Lofts it into the box. Would have been a good ball had anybody been there, but nobody's home. And straight to Gina Ryan. Rochelle wins the header. Whistle blows.
Yeah, I think so.
Foul called. Rochelle
Red flag.
still down for now, helped up by her teammates. She'll be okay. It'll be a free kick for UNCP. Second time they've had a free kick in this area.
That's a head. That would have been thrown out any other time. That's concussion material right there.
Free kick coming. Good ball by Ryan into the middle of the box. Goalkeeper comes out, ball falls, but it'll go straight to North Georgia. They clear the line. On to Crane, holding it up. Plays it into the middle. Sundstrom will race forward. Opportunity here for North Georgia. Plays it along for Crane. Headed along by DeCouteau out to Robson. He'll just boot it as far as she can out of play for a throw. But another substitution here for North Georgia. Whistle blows. Coming out is Jasmine Adlam. Coming into replace her. Looks like McKay Shively. North Georgia regroups. Brennan with it. Plays it ahead. Now to Embley. Tries to play a through ball forward, but the Braves there to stop it quickly. Ryan wins the header onto Rochelle, flicked out of play by Embley. Ryan will toss it back into play. Grimes tries to win the ball, but she's fouled. Mackenzie Brennan all over her back. Whistle blows, and the Braves another free kick from a long ways out. Last time nearly worked for them. The ball kind of bounding around inside of the box. The goalkeeper, Gowdy, coming off her line, trying to corral it. Free kick in, not towards the box, falls towards Alexis Pittman trying to win it. Stacy Scott's there though. She had come up from her back line, but a foul called, whistle goes, and North Georgia back in possession. 13.5 minutes to go here in the first half. No team has been able to alter the balance of power here early on. As the ball forward, but a foul called. So I believe that foul will go on Christina Stevenson, who is riding the back of Renee Van Horn. And a free kick and a dangerous opportunity here for North Georgia. Free kicks have been the Achilles heel for the University of North Carolina at Pembroke this season, even dating back to last season losing the NCAA tournament on a free kick. We'll see what Van Horn, the third best goal scorer in the Peach Belt, can manufacture here. puts it on net, but well wide. Had some good pace to it, but with the wind pushing it ever farther and farther away from the right side of the goal mouth.
That sums up the match pretty well, Sam. I mean, I don't know if it is the wind, but there hasn't been a lot of great attacks. I mean, like I said, still, you know, with the waning few minutes now in the first half, the goalkeepers for either side have not really been tested.
Goal kick falls to Embley, staying with it, holding up play, and plays it all the way out wide for Shively, or Shively rather. Embley will take a whack at it here and wide of the goal. Again, going from that top right corner. Can't put it on net. Another goal kick. Robson wins the header. She's got a decisive height advantage on Abby Crane, 5'1", going up against 5'11". Alexis Pittman comes back to help her and boots it away into the North Georgia bench for a throw. Robson, a nice tackle, but it falls straight back to North Georgia. Here comes Thorson into the box, tries to take a shot, deflects off of Scott, able to get a foot to it before it falls back out of play for a corner, and instead it'll be a throw on the far side. North Georgia on the attack. Good challenge by Pittman. Now on to Bree Mason, shaking a couple of defenders. Lays it off for Alexis Pittman, forward to Maya Grimes. One-on-one with her defender, taking on Olivia Dunphy. Dunphy can't win the battle as Grimes deflects it off of her and back behind for a corner. What will be the fourth corner of the match for the Braves. 4 for the Braves, just 1 for North Georgia. Braves have not been able to manufacture a real true opportunity out of a corner kick. And now with about 10 minutes left to go here in the first half, no better time than the present. Christine Rolfs will boot it in with the right foot. Out swinging kick. Into the middle of the box, off the head of Stacy Scott. Brianna DeCouteau will be able to get there and keep it in play, taking on a battle now with North Georgia to keep the ball in. She does, wrestled down to the ground, whistle goes. We'll see which way this is gonna play out, and this will go the way of the Braves. So a free kick in a very dangerous position. DeCouteau tied up there with Renee Van Horn. Interesting to see her get very aggressive on defense. Because the last thing North Georgia could imagine is her getting a yellow or even a red card. Their top goal scorer being without her. When she doesn't score, quite simply, North Georgia doesn't win. So Christine Rolfs will put it in right in front of the corner flag. Into the box. North Georgia gets their head to it first. Now Pittman with it. Scott jumps out in front of the goal mouth. Whistle goes. A little tugging and pulling by the Braves. And it'll be a free kick.
Little hustle, Carly.
Played long ahead for Abby Crane, taking on Stacy Scott rather, who's able to get her boot to it and flick it away for another throw. North Georgia trying to piece something together before we head to halftime. 8 minutes left here in the first half. Pressing on forward against the Pembroke back line of defense. Far side of the field. And out again for another throw. After initially being whistled to go the way of North Georgia, the Braves will have the throw in instead. It's a substitution here for UNCP. Looks like Riley Searing is going to come on in place of Maya Grimes. First substitution of the game for the Braves. North Georgia with an attack opportunity here. Van Horn with it, dispossessed. Falls back to Thorson, plays it out wide. Shively with it to Thorson, back to Shively, into the box. Looked like that was a well-intended cross in. Ended up looking more like a shot. And back out for a goal kick. 7 minutes to go here in the first half. So Searing on for Maya Grimes. Interesting substitution. Searing, without a goal yet this season, will play up top. Played in 20 games last season with 2 starts. Ball falls in front of Searing, but first to it is Brennan. Now back to her. Brennan boots it on ahead. Deflects off of Brianna DeCouteau. Racing behind her, Abby Crane, to try to win the ball for North Georgia. And DeCouteau will just play it out wide. A throw in for North Georgia. Their pressure finally starting to kind of mount up here against the Braves. Just pushing and pushing, trying to show the cracks in the walls. It's a cross into the box, deflects straight to Gina Ryan. Had good intentions there. So that was Renee Van Horn in the middle of the box. But Van Horn could not get there first, was triple teamed. The Braves able to do away with that cross safely. Now Van Horn back on ball. Played out wide for Shively. Crossed into the box. Off the head of DeCouteau. Now Stacy Scott will just boot it as far as she can, trying to find Riley Searing. Carefully done away with by Charlotte Rint. Now with Dunphy, lays it off wide. Bree Mason battling for it, and a whistle blows. It'll be against Bree Mason. And allow for a free kick for North Georgia. Braves coming off of a draw their last time out, playing at Georgia College, 2-2 the final. So the Braves in their past 4 games are unbeaten, 3-0-1. Trying to keep that trend going here against the second best team in the Peach Belt by standings as DeCouteau barrels over Mackenzie Brennan. The referee rules the way of the Braves. For Brennan getting in the way.
Block charge in basketball there. That's a blocking foul. I don't know. I feel like that might have been a charge on the basketball court.
Either way, the Braves get another free kick in the same area that they've had about 4 free kicks from each time Katie Ryan has sent it in towards the box. Last time, played a little bit out wide for Alexis Pittman. She'll do basically the same thing here, except for Riley Searing. Ball does fall to Pittman, though. Kicks off of her back heel, and Bree Mason able to get to it. Wide of the box, twisting and turning, trying to beat her defender to get a cross in. Does beat her defender, crosses it into the box. Header missed by Rolfs. And back comes the University of North Georgia. Embley with it. Will play it forward for Abby Crane, taking on DeCouteau. Numbers rushing forward for North Georgia. DeCouteau challenges and flicks it out of play. To at least halt the challenge for now, allow UNCP a chance to regroup, but a dangerous opportunity there for North Georgia off of the set piece for UNCP. Throw in coming for North Georgia. Comes to Crane. All the way back to Sundstrom. Taking on Rolfs. Will flip the field of play and link up with Shively. Laid off, shot wide, deflects off DeCouteau. Falls to Jillian Robson, who plays it on ahead for Bree Mason. Taking on her defender one-on-one, wins the battle. Braves have numbers, 3-on-3. Mason chugging ahead, far side, takes a shot. It's just a grounder straight into the arms of Hannah Gowdy. Finally getting some of that fast, quick-paced action we thought we'd be seeing here in this game. It took us until the 43rd minute mark of this match, but we finally have it, and finally some exciting moments. Back and forth they go each way, both teams ripping off shots.
But typically the thing is both these teams are so athletic, they can usually sprint past their opponents and get themselves some opportunities just based on their sheer athleticism. But today, obviously, these teams are facing off, so it's tough to get those free, decent chances at goal when both teams are incredibly athletic and can recover.
Ball falls to Abby Crane. Decuto in front of her. Support coming behind her. Stacy Scott able to win the ball. Nearly falls over, but is able to get it away and gets a nice pass off to Alexis Pittman. Played forward for Mason, flicked along for Riley Searing. Heavy touch off of her head, still with it, left-footed strike, one-hop save by Hannah Gowdy. Best opportunity of the match thus far, and nearly there for Riley Searing. Just nice build-up in general, and now the Braves coming right back at North Georgia. Heavy touch there for Brennan. Riley Searing racing towards it, but Gowdy with good instincts off her line to pick it up.
On that last chance for UNCP, what a touch by Mason to pop it over the top there and give Searing a shot just outside the box, but a great play there by the keeper. You mentioned earlier, matchup between two great keepers, and finally a chance for one of them to display their talent level.
1 minute remaining in the
Yeah, you mentioned Bree Mason. When she's been able to have the ball in her possession this game, she's done some very tremendous things. That little back heel flick on that last touch that you mentioned, so impressive. She's been able to beat her defenders, get some crosses into the box. Nothing to show for it yet, though, but could bode well as we go towards the second half, coming up on about a half-minute left to go here in the first half. Possibly one last chance for the Braves. Bree Mason can't get to it that time. North Georgia will clear. Joel Robson gets to it. Stacy Scott heads it along into the bench for North Georgia. 20 seconds to go. Pittman nods it along. Scott plays it out wide. 15 seconds now. We'll see if North Georgia will try and rush something in, take a shot. Ball into the box. Headed away for UNCP. 5 seconds to go.
5, 4,
Robson wins it. Rolls it along, and that'll do it here in the first half. One final strike for North Georgia, again wide. But a very balanced first half for both sides. Both teams going at it, taking each other to the brink, but nobody with a clear missed opportunity or really a good scoring opportunity up until the final 2 minutes of play. But so far, so good. A great first half. We're scoreless. We'll take a break and be back with the second half of action here from Lumbee River EMC Stadium. You're watching the University of North Carolina Pembroke Soccer here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Adidas is the official apparel sponsor for all 16 of UNC Pembroke varsity athletic teams. Adidas provides some of the most innovative products in the shoe and apparel industry and is one of the most recognizable brands worldwide. We thank Adidas for all its support in offering UNC Pembroke the best for its student athletes. Go Braves!
Lumbee River Electric Membership Corporation belongs to the members it serves. That means their members have a say in how their co-op is run. And with members in charge, you can feel confident that the decisions made are in your best interest and the best interest of your community. Doesn't that sound good? Members know they can trust LREMC because it was created not to make profits, but to deliver on this promise, providing safe, reliable, and affordable electricity. 4 values are the foundation of LREMC's service to its members: innovation, commitment to community, accountability, and integrity. These values represent the cooperative difference and how their co-op earns the trust of members every day.
Ever wondered why our sponsor, Lumberton Chevrolet Buick Cadillac GMC, has such a long name? One reason is the tremendous variety of cars and trucks they offer to meet every need. Great-looking Chevrolets, Buicks, Cadillacs, and even GMC SUVs and trucks. They have everything from budget vehicles to the top-of-the-line Cadillacs. So why would you shop anywhere else? Try their quick lube, and while your vehicle is being serviced, you can see for yourself. They are located next to Lumberton High School.
When UNC Pembroke athletes train and compete, Scotland Healthcare System will be a part of the team as the official healthcare provider for UNCP athletics. Led by Ortho Carolina Scotland orthopedic physician Dr. Richard Alexander, their specialist will cover every football and men's basketball game. From practice drills to kickoff and tip-off, Scotland's medical experts will oversee training staff operations. It's one more way Scotland Healthcare is keeping its commitment to be there for the region, delivering closer care that's better by far.
Welcome back. So glad you could be with us. We've got an exciting second half of soccer here from Lumbee River EMC Stadium alongside Chris Clayton. I'm Sam Jelinek here on the UNCP Sports Network. Tied at 0 going into the second half. Should be a thrilling finish to this one. Braves need 2 wins if they want to be able to host a Peach Belt Conference tournament game. And right now, tied at 0 here with North Georgia. Both teams had a couple of solid opportunities, not spectacular, but solid chances to get on the board in the first half. We'll see if anything comes in the second. North Georgia, top 10 in the country in terms of scoring, averaging over 3 goals per match. So it'll be interesting to see what they can formulate here in the second. The Braves have done a phenomenal job of keeping Renee Van Horn out of the danger areas, making sure that she doesn't have anything too good to work with. As when she scores, so too does North Georgia, and that's usually when they win. When she does not score, that's only been in 2 games this season. They've lost both of those matchups. The Braves, if they can keep her off the scorecard, quite possibly have a chance to take one home here today. And an opportunity now for Alexis Pittman. Dances into the box, lofts across, too high though for Maya Grimes. Falls back for Christina Stevenson, but a foul called, and North Georgia will get the ball back.
Wow, well, obviously not questioning the decision, but that's a spot where you'd love to have Stacy Scott with her height in the middle.
And just barely over the head there in the middle of the box. Stacy Scott playing center back here in this game because Haley Stewart out with injury. Stacy played center back during her freshman season and now moved back into that role for the Braves here today against one of the highest scoring offenses in the country. Although Stacy had been the leading goal scorer for UNCP, head coach Lars Anderson electing to move her back into that center back role and fortify the back lines. Rushing forward here, Malashik puts one on net, but it's wide. And another, it'll be a goal kick here for UNCP. North Georgia's gotten off a good amount of shots, 8 so far in this game, but only 2 of them have been on net. Compare that to 9 shots and 4 on net for UNCP. Both teams not really forcing the goalkeepers into too much worry or anything like that.
Well, I was, regarding Haley Stewart and Stacy Scott, Stewart being out, I was more worried about the loss of Stewart. She is such a great, experienced, physical, tall center back for UNCP. Scott, obviously a great athlete, but how she would adjust to being back at center back, playing for the first time since her freshman season, was kind of what I was wondering. But from what we've seen so far, she's more than passed that test, really playing well there in center.
Thorson on ball, lays it off for Brennan. Cross into the box, falls for Crane, boots it back out. Some physicality there between Van Horn and Pittman. Van Horn wins the ball, stays on it, takes a rip, blocked by Scott, falls back to her. Van Horn still with it. Scott throws her to the ground, no whistle. Ball stays with Thorson for North Georgia, and she'll play it out wide for, she'll play it out wide for Malashik, who crosses it in, and it's back for what'll be a corner kick deflecting off of Jillian Robson.
Certainly a missed foul there. You mentioned Scott threw her to the ground. She certainly did so. Braves got a break on that one.
Embley will be the one to kick it in for North Georgia. Left-footed strike will be an outswinger here. And it goes straight out of play. Not very well done there.
Wow.
By North Georgia. They haven't had too many corner opportunities in this game. That was just their second. In a game that's still tied at 0, you want to take advantage of every chance you get. Not exactly capitalizing there.
It's not a North Georgia team that usually misses out on opportunities with their explosive offense. Last year ended this season, but maybe they were thinking that same thing. We got to take advantage of this opportunity. UNCP's defense has been so stout, sometimes that can have a mental effect on the opponent.
Van Horn with space to work, tries to take a rip with the left foot, whiffs and falls down. Ball back to Embley, plays it on to Van Horn. who will play it out wide all the way to Mackenzie Brennan. Taking on her defender, Carly Rochelle. Rochelle with a little shove. Ball comes free, and it'll be a corner kick, the second in as many minutes for North Georgia. Their attack finally starting to percolate a little bit here. And we'll see if Embley will have a better service into the box this time. Embley out of England, played 4 seasons for Crewe Alexandra. Player of the season at Stoke City. One of the stalwarts of the Premier League over in England. Is nicely done by De Couteau to knock the ball out of play. And Embley would end up being an FA Youth Cup runner-up. FA being the Football Association, the governing body of football over in England. Runner-up with Everton, club most famous here in America at least for being the home for American goalkeeper Tim Howard for quite some years. Braves trying to clear their line, some tangled feet collision. Maya Grimes was in there, and she got tossed together with Sundstrom. Foul on North Georgia, Braves free kick. Braves will try and play this ball into the box, getting very aggressive here. Ball does fall into the box. Chance here for UNCP. Bree Mason on it. Boxes out her defender. Trying to set up an opportunity for a cross. Plays it into the box for Rolfs. And the ball will trickle out of play for a throw. It'll be a throw in for UNCP. North Georgia tried to jump on it quickly with Adlam throwing it in, but instead Jill Robson will come up and get the ball back into play. Aims for Pittman, gets to her. Cross into the middle of the box, nearly flicked on by Grimes, but not tall enough to get her head to it, and clear it away out wide to Embley. UNCP defender falls down. That was Katie Ryan. Now here's Crane, taking on Stacy Scott, wins the ball, clears it out. And a long ball ahead for Alexis Pittman, trying to win the foot race. Just a little too slow, though, all the way back for Gowdy. Stevenson for UNCP. Played along by Rochelle. Kept in play by Brennan. Forward for Crane. De Couteau picks it off. Looked like it might have got off her hand. Instead, it deflects out of play, so it's a throw anyways for North Georgia. Embley with it. A little cushion to work with. Through to Sundstrom. Thinks about a shot. Fakes it. Dispossessed. Foul called. A huge opportunity here for North Georgia. As Sundstrom couldn't decide whether or not she wanted to take the shot, but instead the fake draws the foul. And Embley, as well as Van Horn, will be on top of the ball. As those two, as well as Malashik, the 3 top goal scorers for North Georgia, will discuss who's going to take this. All 3 line up. Van Horn takes a run at it. Instead, it's going to be a shot from Malashik well high, which I think she underestimated the wind there, wind blowing straight at her. So that gives the ball a little bit more loft, and that shot took off on her. Ended up well high of the crossbar. So it's been an exciting first 10 minutes here in the second half. Still scoreless for now. Rolfs on ball for UNCP. Flicked ahead forward for Bree Mason. She's going to be able to get there. Looking for a cross. Sends it in, deflected off of Adlam. It'll fall all the way back to Dunphy. He'll clear it. Straight to Stevenson for UNCP. Through ball for Pittman. Taking on Adlam, who will get there first and serve it out of play. Cross in from Stevenson, tried to curl it on home, but started it out of play, so a goal kick. Brennan with a deep boot. Miscommunication with Crane, who was coming forward. So an easy ball to win for DeCouteau. Braves will end up sending it straight into the North Georgia bench anyways for another throw. Brennan tosses it to Crane. Back to Brennan. Lofted into the air on one hop in front of Van Horn. Posting up on Scott. Wins the ball and lays it back for Sundstrom. Forward for Crane. Falls back to Van Horn. Flicked ahead. Can't link up though with Thorson. But Van Horn still with it to Thorson again. Shot straight off the chest of Stacy Scott. She'll play it on forward for Bree Mason taking on Adlam. And Adlam will take the safe route, play it over touch for a throw. Pittman duking it out with Malashik. Mason gets to it before Sundstrom. Rolfs with a chance. She'll take a shot, but it's way wide.
Work together, work together.
Rolfs wins the header for the Braves. Straight to Rochelle as the ball dink off her forehead. Stevenson tries to get back to win it, but it's knocked ahead. Abby Crane racing after it. Two defenders on her. Ball heading towards touchline. It will head towards touch. And back for another corner for North Georgia. In our first move here of the second half, we're going to get a substitution for North Georgia. And the chess match will start here in the second half between Lars Anderson, the head coach for UNCP,
Come on up, get in the game.
and Chris Adams, the head coach for North Georgia, two of the most experienced Peach Belt Conference coaches. Adams in his 15th season, Anderson in his 18th, both with incredible amounts of success here in the Peach Belt.
Quit showing yokes.
And now play is still stopped.
Let the players play, not the coaches.
And finally, Embley will play the ball into the box. Immediately, the whistle blows. A substitution right before the corner kick, though. And we are getting
Let's don't let control the game. Come on, let's play ball.
a substitution here for North Georgia. Coming out is Mackenzie Brennan, rather. So the corner kick comes in, deflects off of the goalkeeper, Ryan. UNCP able to clear the line.
Go ahead, work. There you go, about time.
And a foul called there as UNCP trying to push things ahead.
We're gonna get rough now, let's get tough.
So that was a weird sequence of events right before that corner kick. North Georgia trying to make some substitutions.
It's a pretty long conversation there between the official and Coach Anderson. I'm not sure what they were talking about. Anderson didn't look happy based on his body language.
Like I said, the chess match between Coach Chris Adams and Lars Anderson is sure to be something to watch here in the second half, as that substitution was McKay Shively for Mackenzie Brennan. It's a little bit more offensive firepower. One of the defenders, center backs coming out for a midfielder. North Georgia ahead here, chance, shot high, well high to the bar for Malashik.
Wow.
Had a clear opportunity, one of the cleanest opportunities we've seen in this game, laid off to her and just sent it sailing over the bar.
Golden opportunity, but as you said, maybe the best one. I would say that was the best opportunity. And again, for North Georgia, sailing high on their strikes. We've seen that a few times now, and that was the best chance they've had so far.
And from there, really, at this point in the game, you want to at least challenge Gina Ryan, try and get at least a ricochet or something to fall to you.
Right, the last thing you want is over the goal, obviously.
North Georgia pressing forward again. Van Horn with it. Lays it off into the middle. Back to Van Horn. Looking for a cross, 2 defenders on her. Robson and Pittman. Braves win the ball. Robson tries to clear, but it falls straight to Adlam. Still with it, left-footed strike, straight into the chest of Stacy Scott. Ball flicked along for Christine Rolfs, so booted ahead forward for Maya Grimes. And back to the goalkeeper from Dumphy. And Gowdy will play it forward for Charlotte Rint. Far side here. Forward for Crane. Tangled up with Descouteaux, and the ball falls out of play off of Crane for a throw. Nice challenge won by Rochelle. Tries to play it forward though. Straight interception. Back to Gowdy, goalkeeper for North Georgia, the transfer from the University of Georgia, the Bulldogs. Rolfs tries to win the header, can't. Stevenson gets a boot in to flick it on. But too much for Pittman. And now North Georgia and Malashik here on the near side. Forward for Crane. Challenged by Scott, wins it. As the ball falls to Robson, too much loft. Pittman can't get to it. Poor throw straight to Robson. See if UNCP can control the ball for more than a moment, but they can't. Straight out of play. We're going to get 2 more substitutions for North Georgia. Got some fresh legs on for the Nighthawks. Abby Crane coming out, as well as Rosie Embley. Back on is Danny Chartouni, who will take the spot of Crane. As well as Peyton Biso, both of those players started this game. Embley and Crane had come on for them in the first half. And Chartouni straight into the game, dispossessed out of play off of her. Throw for Robson. Finds Mason nicely. Tries to feed it along for Rolfs, but intercepted by Sundstrom. Shively with it. A lot of space to work with. Picks out her pass, and Katie Ryan does the same to her, intercepts it. Long ball forward for Pittman, trying to outrun Rint, but Rint's going to get there first and knock it out of play. But nice job by Pittman to force that. And the Braves into the attacking third. Rochelle, cross into the box. Looked like it took a touch off the defender, so it'll be another corner kick for UNCP, another opportunity. It'll be their 5th corner of the game. Corners right now are even at 4 apiece, so this will be the 5th. Nothing doing on corners for either side. Nobody's gotten a clear header off of one. Stacy Scott comes forward for UNCP, one of the tallest and most effective Braves at finishing in the box. Ball falls to Scott off of Stevenson. Stevenson tries to turn and pass it into the box, takes a deflection. North Georgia wins it, pass behind Biso. Can't win it cleanly, and it's out of play for a throw for the Braves. Felt like maybe there, ball might fall onto somebody's foot. Somebody might be able to find the back of the net, but nothing. Now a throw in deflected. Braves win it. Ball into the box by Rochelle. Picked off cleanly for North Georgia. Nice flick ahead there by Van Horn. Far side for Biso. Knocked out of play by Stacy Scott. Just about 20 minutes gone here in the second half. Trickling ball into the box, easily done away with by Descouteaux. North Georgia trying to find their footing in the final third. Nobody has been able to find the back of the net here this afternoon. Scott again able to get to that ball, or Descouteaux rather, able to get to that ball and clear her line. And North Georgia still pressing forward, intercepts the throw-in. Far side opportunity for a cross into the box, and on one hop straight to the goalkeeper, Gina Ryan. No substitutions here in the second half yet for head coach Lars Anderson for UNCP. North Georgia pressing forward once more. It's Biso taking on Katie Ryan. Cross into the middle of the box, intercepted by Stacy Scott. She'll play it out of the box and through to Carly Rochelle. Chance here for the Braves to press forward. Long ball intended for Mason. Wins it off the defender. Rolfs with it. Played forward for Grimes. Too much, though. Off the line is the goalkeeper, Gowdy, to pick it up.
Well, we raved about the North Georgia offense coming into this match. Give their defense credit. I mean, UNCP has not really had a single clean opportunity this whole match.
You had mentioned it earlier with the kind of athleticism and speed both of these teams have. You know, a lot of UNCP's game is throw the ball forward, see if Pittman or Grimes or Scott usually can fall on the ball as a foul called. Free kick for North Georgia. Throw it forward, see if they can outpace their defender and fall on something. But like you said, give a lot of credit to the North Georgia center backs. They've shown a lot of pace and ability to stay with the forwards for UNCP. Basically something that not many teams can match.
That's why they're second in the Southeast region and 25th in the nation. The way they've played this year on both offensively and defensively aspects of the game. They've been phenomenal, and the Braves are in an absolute battle. It's starting to smell like a 0-0 draw here, but hopefully somebody can create some action for us, be aggressive.
Far side of the field, there's Thorson dealing with some UNCP defenders. It'll fall off of one of them, and a throw-in for North Georgia. 4 players warming up for the University of North Georgia outside of their dugout, so expect some more substitutions to be coming for head coach Chris Adams. Battle on the far side of the field, right towards the sideline. Lars Anderson thought it was going to go the way of the Braves. Instead, the flag raises the way of North Georgia. And this time, though, Lars with an emphatic point able to get the ball to go his way. And the Braves coming ahead. A chance for an attack. Whistle blows as Rochelle looks to win the ball. Foul occurred before then, though, so play stopped.
We've seen this before from UNCP, that sometimes they'll get a little bogged down, and then they'll go on a 10-minute stretch where they'll score 2 goals. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen here against North Georgia, but sometimes UNCP gets in rhythm and gets to a point where their opponent gets a little bit tired, and the Braves can bust through and score a goal or 2 on you. You never know.
Set piece opportunity for the Braves, punched away by Gowdy. And North Georgia will turn on the burners, trying to come the other way. Chartouni plays it forward, intercepted by Scott. Flicked out wide for Mason, too much out of play. Chartouni boxed out on Pittman. Mason wins the ball back for the Braves. Whistle goes. Foul on Chartouni. Free kick for UNCP.
Hey, guys, got to watch him. I'm going to get rough now. Let's play. Let's play strong. Play good. Play good. All right. Katie made it. All right, right here, Braves.
See what kind of set piece action the Braves got going here. Free kick from Ryan. Low line drive on one hop finds Rochelle. Flicked on into the box. Nobody's there, though. The closest was Maya Grimes.
Good shot, Rochelle.
Good job by the keeper, Gowdy, to clear her line and get on out to retrieve that ball. Otherwise, that was sure to be danger from Maya Grimes.
Turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it.
Van Horn holds the ball up, lays it off for Sundstrom. All the way out for Shively. Forward for Thorson. Her and Dekuto there. Ball out of play off of Dekuto. And a substitution here for UNCP. And as quickly as she was on, out comes Danny Chartouni. Embley coming on to replace her.
Better get a couple fresh legs in there.
Ball into the box. Chance here for the Braves. Embley over the bar. A beautiful move there by Van Horn in the box to allow that ball to sneak underneath her feet.
Come on, let's
And
go
it
get
fell
one
to
now.
Embley, who had a clear shot on goal, but sends it skying over the bar for another missed opportunity. The second time this game, North Georgia's had a nearly pristine attack, merely to see it fall over top of the goal.
And we've seen other, not perfect attack opportunities, but other attack opportunities sail high as well for North Georgia today. They're not even allowing a ricochet opportunity with how they're booting them over the top.
Maya Grimes battling on the far side, takes a tumble down to the turf.
Come on, man, get in the game.
The ball stays with UNCP. And one thing to go back to on that shot attempt for Embley is right before that, when that ball was falling to her, Renee Van Horn had a defender on her back. That pass was intended for her, but Van Horn, with a little layoff fake shot over top the ball, took away everybody's attention for the ball to fall to Embley all alone. But she can't finish, and Van Horn's little fake will simply fall by the wayside. North Georgia countering off of the UNCP attack into the middle of the field. Dekuto battling. Van Horn wins the ball. Too much on it, though. Chasing after it, Biso. The ball falls over the line for a touch.
Might be the best acting game from here on out. Way to go, Braves. Way to stay strong, Braves. We're proud of you, proud of you. Hang in there. It's in mid-season form.
Biso trying to win the ball,
Don't you push
and it
around.
falls out over play, or over the line rather, for another throw for North Georgia. Whistle goes, and before the next throw, and it looks like we're gonna have a substitution. No, we're not. Somebody was ready to come on. That was Abby Crane. Instead, the whistle goes and will play on. So until the next stoppage in play, Crane won't be able to come on. Near side here for Adlam. Laid off to Embley. Flicked ahead to Adlam.
Chase her.
Into the middle of the field. Van Horn with it. Back heel pass. Shot on goal. Diving save. Great job by Gina Ryan diving to her right. The run-up of play was beautiful for North Georgia. Nice back heel flick by Van Horn, laying it off.
She's good.
But Gina Ryan up to the task. Last week's Peach Belt Conference Goalkeeper of the Week, keeping it strong this week.
A setup by the Nighthawks, as you said, a thing of beauty. They got a great shot.
There you go.
And Ryan comes through again for UNCP, keeping them alive.
It's a Thorson with that shot there for North Georgia. Braves trying to counter with Riley Searing, loses the ball. And North Georgia boots it long to clear their line. Stevenson gets a foot to it, but it's out over play. And now finally the substitution, Abby Crane coming on. Taylor Malashik will step out of play for now. Expect her to be substituted back into this game at some point. Braves win the ball off the restart. Far side of the field. Rochelle trying to get to Searing. Can't though. Played into the middle of the box. Deflected off a Brave. Falls back to Searing. Shot on net way high and wide. Nearly a huge mishap there for Hannah Gowdy. Coming off her line to get to that ball. As the ball was crossed back to her. You almost always hear coach as a cardinal sin. never pass the ball back to the goalkeeper when you've got to go the length of the field like that. Nearly turned into disaster for the Nighthawks. Instead, Steering was a tough shot, no doubt about that, but puts it wide, and the Nighthawks escape calamity.
Well, it was also the high motor we've been talking about all year of Bree Mason. She was able to get that ricochet, and she is just absolutely relentless, and it almost resulted in a goal.
Wins that header there, gets it to Pittman. Looking for the cross, heavy touch, deflects off of her and back for a goal kick.
Way to hustle, Pittman. Way to hustle, Pittman. Good job, babe.
Coming up on 16 minutes to go here in the second half, still scoreless, not what we expected here in this match. Two high-powered offenses. Neither have been able to find the back of the net here so far. Off the goal kick, ball falls to Stevenson, finds Pittman. Through ball for Mason, snuffed out by North Georgia. Deflects off of Mason, stays in play. North Georgia and Rosie Embley will let it run out of play, though, for a throw-in. Ball tried for Embley. Robson gets to it first in front of Van Horn. Tries to thread the needle through to Searing. Too much, though. And on to Gowdy. Intercepted by Ryan. Forward for Searing. Looks out wide and finds Pittman. Cross into the box, not enough on it, headed away. Pittman tries to win it back, but cleared by Adlam over the line for a throw. Had the right idea. So it looked like she had Bree Mason in the middle of the box for a potential header, but the wind held that ball up just enough. It's Robson's throw-in intended for Pittman has too much on it. Won by North Georgia to Embley. Pass intercepted by Stevenson towards the corner flag, taking on her defender. Won by North Georgia, throw for UNCP. Robson throws it in for Mason, flicks it on over her head, tries to win the ball in the box, tangled up. North Georgia gets the ball clear, on for Van Horn with Scott. Crane gets the ball, Scott right in front of her, able to win the pass intended for Embley. And back the other way come the Braves with Rochelle into the box. Pittman can't handle it, touch was heavy. On her back though was Adlam with good defense. Rolfs wins the header, falls to the ground. Sundstrom gets the ball back for North Georgia. On ahead for Searing, flicks it along for Mason. Pittman to her right. Holds up play, looks for Pittman out wide. Pass too much on it though, and it's out of play. A substitution here for North Georgia. As Adlam's going to come out of this game.
Stay with them, guys. You're doing good. Proud of you. Proud of you. Come on. We need just one right here.
So Adlam out. Instead, Mackenzie Brennan comes on. Embley knocks it ahead for Crane. Forward for Van Horn, trying to hold up play. She does with DeCouteau on her back. Lays it off for Thorson. Forward intercepted by Scott. Nice through ball here for Bree Mason. Can she keep it in play? She can't. Just a little bit too much on it.
Good job, Robin. Let's go get him now. We got to hustle right now.
North Georgia regrouping here. Pittman with the high pressure. Braves playing high up on the attack, trying to win the ball and force something. Embley knocks it ahead for Crane. Dispossessed by Stacy Scott. Whistle blows.
Come on, ref. Get in the game.
Quick restart for North Georgia. Embley forward for Van Horn. Van Horn knocked down. No whistle. Whistle finally.
Come on up. That's pitiful. My God, you going to give it to him?
So it'll be a free kick from just about where North Georgia had one earlier here in this half. And that was sent over the bar for North Georgia, as again the three players most likely to take the free kick, Embley, Van Horn, and Sundstrom, discussed over the ball.
25 wide.
Van Horn will knock it ahead for Sundstrom, out wide for Embley, shot deflected and blocked by Robson, falls back to Van Horn, fakes a shot, nutmegs Pittman, but Scott gets to it and knocks it out of play.
They don't score. Way to go, Braves. Way to hustle it.
Throw in from Brennan, finds Embley. Brennan looking for the cross, gets it into the box. Van Horn can't win the header, falls to nobody, cleared by Rochelle. Ball takes a high hop and knocked over her head by Sundstrom. Won by Stevenson for UNCP. The Braves back ahead forward for Mason. Pass just a hop too high for her. North Georgia wins the ball but gives it straight back to Pittman, who gives it right back again, but way too heavy of a touch to Rolfs. Tries to lay a ball through for Mason, but it's deflected. Back and forth we go. Back to the Braves. Rochelle looking for somebody that wasn't there. The ball will trickle behind for a goal kick.
I think they're going to have to depend on the ref from here out. Let's go, guys. Come on. You're playing a great game. Great game.
North Georgia pushing ahead. Ball played along, one back by the Braves. North Georgia will play it to their back lines and try and regroup. Forward for Brennan, nearly a missed touch, but stays with it. Taking on Pittman.
Not today.
Tries to pass it along for Crane, but they weren't on the same page. And straight to Mason. Braves 3 players forward, 4 back for North Georgia. Lays it off for Searing. Mason into the box, unguarded, pushed off the ball though. Searing tries to guide one into the middle, but dove on and covered by Gowdy.
I don't see what no different that was other than. First to it, girls. First to it. There you go.
Punt straight to Rolfs, wins the header. Searing heavy touch, one back by North Georgia. Pittman tries to intercept the pass, whiffs on it, but nearly wins it back from Embley. Able to fall on it though, get it back to Brennan. On to Embley. Thorson looking out wide, taking on Stevenson. Does go out wide, there's Biso. Into the middle for Embley. DeCouteau on her. Played towards the corner, Ryan able to pick it off. Wanted to link up with Shively. And she'll just clear straight back to Sundstrom.
Boy, you can feel the tension now. We're under 10 minutes. The importance of this match for both teams, especially UNCP, frankly. When you think about kind of a rough start to Peach Belt play, now back on track. If they want to host a Peach Belt match, they got to win both the matches this week. You can feel the tension here in Lumbee River AMC Stadium.
Braves coming forward with numbers 4-on-4 out wide. Debris Mason, 3 players in the box. Mason enters the box, steps over the ball, and dispossessed. Beautifully done there by Olivia Dunphy to win that ball. DeCouteau rushes forward to win the ball back for UNCP. Into the box, nearly finds its way to Mason. North Georgia will just clear it out wide. Racing forward, Jill Robson steals the ball off the foot of Embley. Players into the box for UNCP, and the cross not there. Service straight over the bar. And the Braves will have some substitutions here. So we got a substitution here for UNCP. Miranda Addison will come on, the freshman. He's only played in 2 matches this season, but pressed into duty here in Peach Belt Conference play. Forward comes North Georgia. Thorson on the ball, 2 defenders in front of her, crosses it into the box high, trying to find somebody. Braves nodded away.
Hustle, hustle, hustle.
Katie Ryan with a beautiful block, able to jump in front of that shot. That'll be deemed a handball, though. As now the ref's going to have a talking to with Katie Ryan. He's got the yellow card out, and he'll show her the yellow card.
Come on up. What you trying to do? Let them score.
Yellow card for Katie Ryan for getting her fist to that ball, jumping in front of it.
Is that how they get a record?
I thought I hit her in the face.
That's what I thought too, but instead she'll get the yellow for an apparent handball.
So I guess theoretically, if she would have taken it in the face, then it wouldn't have been a yellow card.
Correct.
I guess you're just supposed to. All right, there you go.
The more you know. So a free kick, dangerous spot for North Georgia.
Chicken feed.
So the ref is going to back up the wall for UNCP. Robson, Rolfs, looks like Miranda Addison,
Outside.
as well as Stevenson. On the ball is Embley. She'll take a strike and send it way over for the second straight time.
Is that deja vu?
Deja vu all over again.
I've seen that 4 or 5 times now from North Georgia. Their attacks are crisp, they're clean, their defense has been stellar, but they are sending them high here on the road.
So Katie Ryan on a yellow card, and that's something to be very wary about, because if this game does end up heading to overtime, Braves cannot afford to lose her should she pick up a second. It'll certainly be hard to win if they end up being down to 10 players, but that's neither here nor there because that's a hypothetical. Forward for Addison. Can she get to it? Almost can. Tries to win the ball. Played out wide. Brennan will get to it for North Georgia. Racing ahead. Has Malashik to her left. Embley with space to work. Coming back to the near side. Tries to play it forward. Pass blocked by Pittman and out of play for a throw to North Georgia.
White ball. White ball.
All the way back for Dunphy. Into the middle for Rint. Out wide for Shively. Middle of the field. Here's Embley. Space to work with. Lays it off wide. Chartouni can't win the ball. Ryan with a great tackle. Flag up. Foul on Chartouni. And here's going to come a yellow card for Chartouni. So this might set not quite a dangerous precedent, but the cards are out.
It's a physical match, and the official is trying to, still a lot of time, 4.5 minutes. He's trying to kind of clean it up before it gets too extreme down the stretch.
Just something to be wary of. 2 key players, Chartouni and Ryan, on yellow cards for now. So Ryan will boot this free kick away. Header won by North Georgia. It'll fall straight to Malashik. Embley to her right, trips over the ball, trying for some fancy moves, but North Georgia able to win it back. Thorson out wide for Shively. Addison racing after her. Lofted ball into the box. Header won by Scott, knocked ahead wide. And Pittman will just send it over for a touch. Another substitution coming here for North Georgia, coming up on the 4-minute mark.
I'll tell you one thing, you've had to run them.
Here in this ball game. Throw straight out of play for North Georgia. And a goal kick for UNCP. Renee Van Horn back into this game, had been substituted out for a little breather. Abby Crane comes out of the game. So Van Horn with 12 goals held off the score sheet so far today. In each of the 2 games North Georgia has lost this season, she has failed to score. Forward for Addison. Into the box. Chance here for UNCP, looking for the cross. Can she get it before ball falls out of touch? She can, but it's straight to the goalkeeper.
Keep it up, girls. Keep it up, girls. You played the whole game. They played about 8 players. Let her go. Let her go right here.
Coming up on 2.5 minutes left to go here in regulation. Tied at nothing. Whistle blows, foul on North Georgia. UNCP can try and push forward. One final attack. 2.5 minutes left. Braves will take their time setting this up, trying to milk a little bit of clock. Ball played in, straight to Stevenson. She'll take it out wide, played out wide for Pittman, and sent out of play by Brennan. Pittman on the ball to throw, 2 minutes to go. Got a thrilling finish coming up here from UNCP. Pittman, ball into the box, deflected. Embley falls on it, punts it forward. Scott wins the header. Robson back to retrieve it. Will try and chuck it forward, but Chartouni able to jump in front of it and block it. Braves still, though, get it to Pittman. With Mason behind her, ball goes over for a touch. 1 minute, 30 seconds left to play. Braves need wins in the final 2 games of the regular season if they want to host a Peach Belt Conference tournament game. Ball falls for Pittman. Mason out wide into the box, deflected. Can't fall to a Brave. Finally, Rochelle in the box. Holding up play, tries to pass it out for Stevenson, not there. Challenge wins the ball out wide to Robson. Into the box, way too much on it though, as it falls out of the sky straight to Hannah Gowdy. 1 minute to go here at Lumbee River EMC Stadium. The Braves perfect at home this season, 6-0-0, looking to keep it that way and gain ground in the Peach Belt Conference standings. Here comes Pittman, nutmegs Brennan, who then becomes a stone wall and sends Pittman to the ground. Foul called, one final last gasp for the Braves here in regulation, 30 seconds to go. It'll be a free kick from Katie Ryan into the box. Braves send everyone forward but Jillian Robson and the goalkeeper. One player wall, ball into the box. High, lofted, somebody got their head to it. Looked like that was Stacy Scott, but it falls back over for a goal kick. Coming up on 10 seconds to go.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
She's taking her time with the goal kick. Is Gowdy. She'll let the clock wind down. And we'll take one break before we go to overtime here from Lumbee River EMC Stadium. Hope you stayed with us, and we've got more soccer action for you. Overtime coming up here after a short 5-minute break. You're watching North Carolina Pembroke Soccer here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Adidas is the official apparel sponsor for all 16 of UNC Pembroke varsity athletic teams. Adidas provides some of the most innovative products in the shoe and apparel industry and is one of the most recognizable brands worldwide. We thank Adidas for all its support in offering UNC Pembroke the best for its student athletes. Go Braves!
Lumbee River Electric Membership Corporation belongs to the members it serves. That means their members have a say in how their co-op is run. And with members in charge, you can feel confident that the decisions made are in your best interest and the best interest of your community. Doesn't that sound good? Members know they can trust LREMC because it was created not to make profits, but to deliver on this promise, providing safe, reliable, and affordable electricity. 4 values are the foundation of LREMC's service to its members: innovation, commitment to community, accountability, and integrity. These values represent the cooperative difference and how their co-op earns the trust of members every day.
Adidas is
Ever wondered why our sponsor, Lumberton Chevrolet Buick Cadillac GMC, has such a long name? One reason is the tremendous variety of cars and trucks they offer to meet every need. Great-looking Chevrolets, Buicks, Cadillacs, and even GMC SUVs and trucks. They have everything from budget vehicles to the top-of-the-line Cadillacs. So why would you shop anywhere else? Try their quick lube, and while your vehicle is being serviced, you can see for yourself. They are located next to Lumberton High School.
When UNC Pembroke athletes train and compete, Scotland Healthcare System will be a part of the team as the official healthcare provider for UNCP athletics. Led by Ortho Carolina Scotland orthopedic physician Dr. Richard Alexander, their specialist will cover every football and men's basketball game. From practice drills to kickoff and tip-off, Scotland's medical experts will oversee training staff operations. It's one more way Scotland Healthcare is keeping its commitment to be there for the region, delivering closer care that's better by far.
Adidas is the official apparel sponsor for all 16 of UNC Pembroke varsity athletic teams. Adidas provides some of the most innovative products in the shoe and apparel industry and is one of the most recognizable brands worldwide. We thank Adidas for all its support in offering UNC Pembroke the best for its student athletes. Go Braves!
Lumbee River Electric Membership Corporation belongs to the members it serves. That means their members have a say in how their co-op is run. And with members in charge, you can feel confident that the decisions made are in your best interest and the best interest of your community. Doesn't that sound good? Members know they can trust LREMC because it was created not to make profits, but to deliver on this promise, providing safe, reliable, and affordable electricity. 4 values are the foundation of LREMC's service to its members: innovation, commitment to community, accountability, and integrity. These values represent the cooperative difference and how their co-op earns the trust of members every day.
Hope you have not left us. We've got a thrilling finish coming up here from Lumbee River EMC Stadium alongside my color man, producer, director, and camera operator Chris Clayton, Sam Jelinek here on the UNCP Sports Network. It's been an absolutely astonishing first 90 minutes. We don't know how many more minutes we're going to have, but it's going to be potentially as minimal as as many as 20. Here in overtime, tied at 0 between UNCP and University of North Georgia. We expected a high-scoring game here in this one, but we're tied at 0. Extremely weird to be here right now.
It really is, and there were long stretches there with 2 high-powered offensive attacking teams where it was a pretty conservative match. Not really either side getting decent opportunities at the net. I mean, there was a lot of time, long stretches of time where each goalkeeper was pretty idle. They were not tested very much. Ultimately, both were tested a few times, both passed the test in Gowdy and Gina Ryan, but ultimately the defenses for both sides have reigned supreme in this Peach Belt clash.
Yeah, we talked about the offenses coming into this game, but both teams defensively are pretty solid, and that's something that, you know, I kind of neglected to almost really think about too much, just because you want to focus on the offensive firepower these two teams bring to the table. And one thing to consider is the direction both of these teams are headed. North Georgia is still one of the top 25 teams in the country. Is currently in their past 3 games 1-1-1. Although that doesn't sound too terrible for them, that's considered a pretty bad snide. For UNCP, on the other hand, they've really come into their own over their past couple of games. Winners of 4 of their last 6, 4-1-1. Over their past 6 games. They're trying to keep it that way and move up in the Peach Belt Conference standings, currently in 5th. Just a couple of points behind Lander, Flagler, and North Georgia, and the Braves want to hold the tiebreaker over North Georgia if it comes down to it eventually. When we're away here in overtime, it's a sudden death golden goal winner. First team to score wins. Braves tied in their last game at 2 at Georgia College. That was back on the 20th. And now here today on the 23rd, tied at 0 here in overtime. Braves working right to left in white jerseys. Georgia College left to right in the royal blue jersey tops. Jill Robson on the far side will send it flying into the Braves dugout for a touch. Rolfs chasing after it, can't get to it. North Georgia back on it. Here's Embley. Into the midfield, being tracked down from behind by Pittman. Addison, rather, that is Pittman. Able to track her down. Now on the outside, cross blocked by Ryan. Back outside for Brennan, into the box, whipping in, high into the air. Tries for the first touch strike by Crane, but not a lot to it. Trickling towards the goalkeeper, Ryan, for an easy pickup. Drop kick boot away. Looking for Rochelle, does not win the header, but it deflects off of Brennan, out of play for a throw-in for UNCP. Ryan throws it ahead to Rochelle, who plays it back to her. Ryan tries to play it forward, nearly finds Bree Mason, who collides with the goalkeeper Gowdy, who was there first. Gowdy's had a couple of instances in this game, being very aggressive coming off her own line. She's nearly come back to bite her in a few occasions there. Very nearly if Bree Mason had gotten there first. Instead, though, here in the first period of overtime action, coming up on 7 minutes, 30 seconds to play. North Georgia's yet to have an attack formulate here in the first overtime session. Looking for something here, back to Brennan near side. Booted forward, looking for Crane. Blocked out of play by Scott. Brennan with the throw. Look for Renee Van Horn for North Georgia if they want to try and finish this ball game up. Feet get tangled, cross in, blocked by DeCouteau, out for a throw. Good battle there between Malashik and DeCouteau and Robson. Throw into the box. Cross into the middle, Van Horn there, slide tackle, falls down, Embley into the middle of the box, hits off a player on the ground, falls back to Embley, outside, deflects off of DeCouteau, and falls to Gina Ryan. Whistle finally blows, and Van Horn is down.
Wow. Hopefully Van Horn is okay, but that ball was hanging around in the box for an uncomfortable amount of time if you're a Brave Nation.
And Van Horn going down, she had an opportunity to potentially put a ball in the back of the net had she not been taken down. I wasn't quite sure on what happened. It's just that when a ball gets played into the middle of the box like that, bodies collide, things happen, people get hurt. And that's exactly what happened there. Van Horn will stay in this game, and it would be huge if for some reason she cannot continue on. Because as we've mentioned a couple of times, she is the top goal scorer for North Georgia, one of the top goal scorers in the conference for that matter. Played on ahead for Crane. Booted away by the UNCP defensive front. Able to win the ball is Mason, back for Robson. Big boot ahead looking for Rolfs. Headed into the air to Rolfs, back to Rint. Searing trying to challenge her. Can't win the ball back though. Played forward. Van Horn looking for it with DeCouteau, and it's out for a UNCP throw. Ball won by Rochelle, looking for Searing, intercepted by Brennan. Thorson on it. Laid back for Brennan. Looking to the middle. Finds Sundstrom just out of the reach of Rolfs, and Sundstrom's got space to work. Pittman in front of her, out wide to Embley. Maneuvers back into the middle, avoids a tackle from Rolfs. Laid off from Van Horn to Crane, and booted away by UNCP. Dangerous chance there coming up on 5 minutes to go here in the first overtime session. Looks like North Georgia's got the energy, got the momentum right now, pushing things ahead. Throw in for Embley as Pittman on her, dispossessed. Robson will boot it ahead. and straight into the North Georgia dugout. Sundstrom on the ball, forward to Van Horn. Squares up, takes on 3 defenders, enters the box, still on the ball. Finally, the Braves take it away from her with Scott poking it away. North Georgia back on it though. Embley dispossessed by Pittman. Steering, rushing forward, trying to win the ball. North Georgia stays on it with Brennan. Into the box, looking for Van Horn. Too much mustard on it. And picked up by the goalkeeper, Gina Ryan. Flicked ahead by Searing, straight to the center back, Rent, who knocks it ahead for Crane. Tries to lay it off, but intercepted by Stevenson. Rush down the right side, flick it ahead forward for Bree Mason. This could be a chance into the box. Defender on her, knocks her off the ball, stays with it. Tossing and turning, lays it into the box, takes a deflection and out over for a corner. 3.5 minutes to go here in the first session of overtime. Golden goal, first team to score here in overtime wins it. Christine Rolfs will lay it in for the Braves. UNCP needs a win today and Friday against Young Harris if they want to try to host the first round of the Peach Belt Conference tournament. Tied at nothing. Rolfs corner in a low line drive. Somebody falls on it and it's in the back of the box. Alexis Pittman knocks it home for UNCP and the Braves win it here in overtime. It was Alexis Pittman and Riley Searing in there. Somebody knocked it home. I think it was Pittman, but if it was Searing, no matter. It's a winner for the Braves as they take it 1-0 here in overtime. A beautiful set piece drawn up for UNCP as they take home the win here in this one. Just an absolutely phenomenal victory for the Braves. They had a multitude of corners in this game as that was their 6th corner of the match. And here in overtime, they end it for the win.
Wow. Not a lot of great opportunities the whole match for UNCP, but when it counts most, they come through at home. Those are the type of wins that UNCP racked up at the end of last season to make their magical run in the postseason, and they have the talent to do so this year. They had that tough break from Hurricane Florence. They had Stacy Scott go out for a little bit with an injury, and now they're battling back. They're winning matches, and they just beat a top 25 ranked team nationally and a team that is ranked 2nd in the Southeast region. This was a huge win for UNCP.
Absolutely phenomenal work by the Braves. Of course, you would have liked to see more offense from them throughout the game. They had some chances, but not a lot. They were able to contain a dynamic North Georgia team, as it was Riley Searing, her first goal on the season.
That's a way to make your mark.
That's a way. With Stacy Scott forced to play center back, Riley Searing gets some more playing time. And we talked to Lars Anderson earlier this season about this idea of getting more production from everybody up and down your roster, finding not just other players that can score, but will score. And right there, that's a perfect example.
Yeah, he said, yes, we lost some key pieces from last year, and it's going to be tough to replace them. But he also said this year he feels like is the deepest team he's had in a long time here at UNC Pembroke. And it showed with Stacy Scott being forced to go to center back, with Haley Stewart being out. And for UNCP now they get a player like you mentioned, Riley Searing steps up. Bree Mason, the freshman's been great all year. She didn't score in this match, but she played a great match. She was really putting pressure on the defense. Young players and players that didn't make huge impacts last year stepping up for the Braves.
Just absolutely phenomenal. Gina Ryan, by the way, picked up her 25th career clean sheet. That moves her into first all-time amongst everybody in UNCP Braves history for most clean sheets kept as a goalkeeper, and she's done that, and she's still a junior. So a lot of good things to come for the Braves. We'll be back on the airwaves on Friday, as Chris will have the call as the Braves take on Young Harris to finish off their Peach Belt Conference schedule. If they win that, they might be able to host a Peach Belt Conference tournament game, but we'll see what happens. I'd like to thank our cameraman Josh Green today, our cameraman Chris Clayton, as well as my colorman Chris Clayton, as well as producer-director Chris Clayton. I've been Sam Jelinek. So glad you could join us. Your final score here from Lumbee River EMC Stadium. It's the Braves 1 and North Georgia 0. Thanks for joining us here on the UNCP Sports Network. Have a good day.